The file you are about to hear has been thoroughly scrutinized by the Ethics Committee and approved by the O5 Council for release to trusted associates of the Foundation. This is SCP Unredacted. It was collectively agreed upon by the Site-666 administrators that Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You had been banned from the party's playlist after last year's containment breach. So, Primrose collected a number of strictly instrumental holiday tracks, each of them as varied and inclusive as possible, since she didn't want anyone to get annoyed from the repetition common in holiday music. She baked cookies, provided eggnog, hung the branch of a parasitic plant above the doorway, and despite her own traditions, she decorated the entire break room with cotton-based fake snow. Even if the Earth's sun would be going through its solar solstice right now. But throughout all of her party planning, one thing had been on her mind: Sheldon and Anseal. It had been about 7 days since their first date. Most of the non-essential staff had taken the holiday week off, Sheldon included. It was reasonable to assume that since Sheldon and Anseal spent every day this week together, they hadn't gotten sick of each other yet. Of course, Prim called regularly to make sure Sheldon was being taken care of. Looking over a human was an astounding amount of work after all, but she knew Anseal was more than capable of handling it. She finally completed setting up the food platter when she got a text. Sheldon's ready to go home. Oh, perfect timing. I just finished setting up the office party. They have you setting up the party? I mean, I'm sure you did great, but what a waste of your time. It is a tradition. And you know what they say, the fastest way to a mortal's heart is through their stomach. And I got my homemade cookies and brimstone ice cream. True. Anyway, how was your vacation? Wonderful. Better than I could have ever anticipated. We had so much fun, Prim. I owe you big time. I genuinely don't think I could be happier. I can send him back to you if you want, or you can pick him up. Can you? I am a little tired. You have shared your location. You got it. Prim stepped back before a rift opened in the middle of the room. In just a few moments, Sheldon stepped through from the other side. His hair was tousled, and he had a big smile plastered on his face as he carried his suit jacket folded over his arm. I'll see you for New Year's, Sheldon. Love you, he said before he blew a kiss and dived back in. Love you too. Sheldon waved goodbye as the portal closed and turned to Primrose. Good to be home. I miss anything? Not much. Same old, same old. Unlike you. The jackal smiled. How did you enjoy your vacation, Sheldon? You seem to be positively glowing. He kept you fed and hydrated, I hope. I haven't felt this way in years. Thank you, Prim. And yes, he was the perfect host. Have you seen his pool? Lord. We have. Quite a scene, no? Primrose picked up a platter of chocolate chip cookies. Would you like to be the first to try one? Adrian is making a trip for the milk and spiked eggnog, if you wish to wait. Oh? Think I'll wait. When do you think they'll be back? Hey, speak of the devil, they will appear. Sheldon was cut off by the imp in question, back to their typical 2'0" size and carrying 2 gallons of holiday dairy. Sheldon, did you just get back? We're just wrapping up the party prep. Want a glass? Of course, he said, walking over to the break room to fetch a plastic cup. I was just about to tell Prim about my time with Anseal. We swam in the pool, discussed legal philosophy, walked by the beach, watched movies from multiple universes. We sat and just gazed at Greed's night sky together. It was wonderful. Adrian smiled. Good to hear, honestly. I'm surprised you two did anything besides knocking boots for a whole week." "Well," Sheldon blushed and looked away bashfully. Primrose giggled. "We are happy for you, Sheldon. Really. I am glad the both of you managed to find some happiness together." "Thank you, Prim. You and Adrian both," Sheldon said, looking at his two infernal friends. "So, Adrian began. "Did you sign anything? I'm actually curious about that. Also, milk or boozed eggnog?" "Eggnog, and, well, about that." Sheldon rubbed the back of his neck. "Ansiel and I talked about it after our first night together. It's obviously a really big decision, and to Ansiel's credit, he was never pushy about it." Sheldon continued. "I was never religious growing up, but my parents were. They were about as conservative and traditional as they came. We had our disagreements, mostly about, well, the sort of people I'm attracted to. But despite everything, I loved them both dearly. When they both passed, I didn't start believing, but I always hoped I could see them again someday. I think it's one of the reasons I still keep kosher." Sheldon sipped his eggnog. "Obviously, thanks to my tenure at the Foundation, I know that afterlives exist now, and chances are my parents are up there waiting for me, which makes things very complicated for me currently." "Oh, Sheldon," Primrose sighed. "I am truly sorry to hear that. I know I am not exactly an unbiased source, but heaven is, well, a fascist theocracy? Don't worry, Ansiel told me." He sighed and downed the rest of his eggnog. "He also told me that heaven would most likely make a play for my soul when I die. Their legal department is supposedly in shambles, and they're willing to bend the rules hard if it means getting someone with actual skills up there." Primrose grimaced. "Unfortunately, I think Ansiel may be correct here." "Yeah, I think so too," Sheldon said, as he received another pour from Adrian. "Ansiel doesn't want to lose me, and I don't want to lose him either, obviously. I'm also not too happy about the idea of existing forever under a fascist theocracy, but, well, yeah, I know, buddy." Adrian hopped up on the table to pat Sheldon's back. "It's a big decision. There's a lot to chew on here." "Yeah. I told Ansiel I still have my whole life ahead of me, so we're taking it nice and slow. I know I'll have to decide eventually, but right now, I'm just happy. For the first time in years, I'm actually really happy." Sheldon's smile returned as he drank from his second cup of eggnog. "For once, I actually have something in my life beyond working until I collapse." "Fuck yeah, buddy." Adrian cheered and poured themselves their own cup of boozy eggnog. "That's the holiday spirit. Fuck all this death talk. Let's enjoy ourselves." Primrose smiled and nodded. "Agreed. As you said, this is something to consider for another time. For now, it is time to celebrate. The party is expected to start in 30 minutes or so. Can we expect you?" "You absolutely can." Primrose certainly knew how to throw a party. Good music, good food, booze, and a blind eye to good-natured, rowdy behavior. That's really all one needed to make a good office Christmas party. Sheldon learned that tonight as he stumbled drunkenly down the hallway to his office. Before he got home, he wanted to grab a few things. It was actually a minor miracle that he was able to remember where his office was, given just how inebriated he was. "I really should calm down a bit," he thought, as he stumbled over to his desk. He only needed a few papers to take home, maybe a snack, but something caught his eye. A Christmas card, black and gold. "May Christmas be merry. From the House of the Fly to Sheldon Katz." He adjusted his glasses to take a look and smiled. "Merry Christmas, Ansiel," Sheldon said, quietly. New Year's can't come soon enough. Thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, join my Discord community, hire me on Fiverr, or help support me by becoming a patron for as little as $3 a month. Regardless of tier, all patrons get early access to every single episode. The links are in the description. I don't have the talent it takes to write a skip. All I do is read. Original authors make this podcast possible, so credit to the original author. Their link's in the description. Show them some love as well. Consider becoming a member of the SCP Wiki. Upvote their work, and maybe write a skip of your own. Maybe I'll read it here someday. You never know if you never try. The content of this podcast and content relating to the SCP Foundation, including the SCP Foundation logo, is licensed under Creative Commons Sharealike 3.0, and all concepts originate from scpwiki.com and its authors. This recording, being derived from this content, is hereby also released under Creative Commons Sharealike 3.0.